going live on YouTube, live on Rumble. Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is about what happened to date throughout the annals of recorded history. Join us as we dive into yesteryear, not only for interesting and important happenings, but to possibly answer questions you don't know you have. The sources of this information come from the website onthisday.com and the smart device applications, what are they called? Historical calendar and Today in History. For links to these sources and anything else potentially interesting, please check the underbar of the description below, and all links gathered throughout the show will appear post-live stream. Anyway, I am Alexander, and at some point, we should be joined by the Golden Loon. Good Sir King is not here. I don't know where he's at. Probably chilling, fishing right now, knowing him. And of course, you viewer are you. Thank you very much for coming in and watching this show. Today is, what is today? Moon's Day, aka Monday, July 29th, 2024. So let's jump into the history today, shall we? Starting us off in 352, Emperor Julianus of Constantinople's school edict prohibited Christian teachers from using pagan literature, which were standard texts for classical education at the time. I wonder if this is along the whole plot to subliminally, hide the fact that Christianity is majority paganism, just with a new twist. I mean, all religions are just built off of previous things, as with everything else, everything in the world is built off of things, preceding it and all that whatnot, and Christianity is no different. Moving on up to 626, Avars under Kagan Bagan began siege of Constantinople. It failed, preserving the Eastern Roman Empire. Oh, that's good. 904, Byzantium city Thessalonica was sacked by Saracen pirates led by renegade Leo of Tripoli. Moving on up to the four digits here, 1030, the Battle of Stiklestad. Norwegian King Olaf II was killed trying to reclaim the throne. One of the most famous Norwegian battles. Alright, well, I don't really know much about Norwegian history and all that stuff, but yeah, there you go. It's one of your famous battles, apparently. 1221, Emperor Go Horikawa, aged at only 10 years old, ascended to the Chrysanthemum throne of Japan. Wow. 10 years old, you're already leading a country. Yikes. 1221, we got that one. 1279, 5 emissaries dispatched by Kublai Khan from the Mongol Yuan dynasty were beheaded by Japan. Yikes. Well, there we go again, when your culture believes that, you're supreme and everything else is beneath you, then, you don't have no problem cutting off the heads of ambassadors, or in this case, what are these, emissaries, I guess. 1566, Great Britain executed Agnes Waterhouse, the first British woman convicted of witchcraft in Chelmsford, England. Oh, there we go. She does math. She's a witch. 1579, Spanish King Philip II arrested plotters Antonio Perez and Princess Van Ebloy. I'm wondering if they're plotting against him or what, but yeah, good old Thimblehead, making sure, things are under control, I guess. 1584, University of Frankenaar / University of Friesland opened in the Netherlands. That is quite impressive. If it's still around, 1500, wow. 1588, the invincible Spanish Armada was sighted approaching England. Several skirmishes followed, forcing the invading fleet to make a long and costly retreat around Scotland and Ireland. So who was the costly? Who had to lose bad? Was it the Spanish Armada, the quote-unquote invincible, as it says here? Or this was written strangely. 1609, Samuel de Champlain shot and killed 2 Iroquois chiefs at Ticonderoga in New York, setting the stage for French-Iroquois conflicts for the next 150 years. Wow. How big can you screw up? Yikes. 1655, the biggest town hall in the world opened in Amsterdam, and I don't think it's the biggest town hall anymore. But let's do a quick search of this here really quick. Let's check out Ecosia. Biggest town hall in the world in Amsterdam. Oh, wow, that is a pretty large building there. But, as I said, I'm not sure if this is still the biggest town hall, because this is 1655, and now we're in 2024, so I'd assume there have been bigger town halls built since then. Although I'm not entirely sure. So if anybody knows, let us know in the comments section. Speaking of comments, do we have any comments yet? Nope. So, we're going to move on up here to 1665. Dutch Valk troops and their allies attacked Fort of Asadi, driving out Makassar and Homali's defenders during Great Ambon War, which was in modern Indonesia. And for those who do not know, Valk, I forgot the name of this YouTube channel, Mitzi Studios, right? Hold on a second, let me bigger this. Yes, Mitzi Studio. They have a whole video about Valk, the biggest company ever. So I'm actually going to put this in the underbar of the description section. Valk. And I highly suggest watching this video after this one, of course. But seriously, go watch this video and subscribe to Mitzi. They're really good. They have a lot of good videos and such. Really cool, unique animations too. It's kind of like a mix between Lego, Minecraft, and Roblox, as far as their animation is concerned. Anyway, we're going to move on up to 1676 here. Nathaniel Bacon was declared a rebel for assembling frontiersmen to protect settlers from Indians. Huh. Well, I mean, the guy's name is Bacon. He has to be good. 1693, War of the Grand Alliance, Battle of Landen/Neerwinden. France won a Pyrrhic victory over Allied forces in the Netherlands. And what is a Pyrrhic victory? Let's look this up here. I think I know what this is, but just for hee-haws. It is a victory that inflicts such a devastating toll on the victor that it is tantamount to defeat, such as a victory negates any true sense of achievement or damages long-term progress. So basically, you won because at the end you had, you're the only one, left with troops to throw into the meat grinder. Essentially, Brannigan's, Zap Brannigan's way of handling things, if anybody knows Futurama, just throw wave after wave of men until the killbots, reach their pre-designated kill number, and then they shut down, That's Pyrrhic victory, essentially. 1715, 10 Spanish treasure galleons sunk off Florida coast by a hurricane. Yikes. And that begs a question, which is, a thing that happens, even today. If a sunken ship is discovered, who actually owns that gold? The nation it came from? The discoverers? The nation the discoverers come from? Like, all of that is actually, debated and whatnot. And there have been several cases where, I think Spanish galleons, I'm not sure, have been discovered. And Spain claims, ownership, which, of course it was, but after several hundred years of just lying there. If they really were the owners, why didn't they, go out and look for it? Why did they wait for other people to find it for them? They're like, oh, hey, thank you for doing all the hard work. Now give it to me. No, that's not how it works. 1715, we got that one. 1751, first international world title prize fight. Jack Stack of England defeated challenger M. Petit of France in 29 minutes in England. All right. Moving on up to 1773, and I'm trying to keep this both scripts here synchronized. It's difficult. We have the first schoolhouse west of Allegheny Mountains completed in Shogunbrunn, Ohio. All right. So if you live in Shogunbrunn, Ohio, if that's even still around, then that's where the first schoolhouse west of the Allegheny Mountains, was first made. 1773 as well, Santa Maria earthquake destroyed much of the capital city of Santiago de los Caballeros de Guatemala, New Spain, which is now Antigua in Guatemala. Over 500 people were killed instantly, and 600 more died later from resulting disease and starvation. Welcome to the show.
Good. Oh, thank you. Golden Moon.
Yeah. Better late than never,
Well, unfortunately, Mother Nature called it an inappropriate time.
Ah, well, you gotta go.
That's it.
At least a T-Rex didn't come and attack you while on the pot, like that lawyer, who rightfully deserved it because he's a lawyer, because, screw lawyers, but...
Are we talking Jurassic Park here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Huh. 1783, Skaptar volcano in Iceland erupted, killing about 9,000.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yikes. Oh.
Iceland. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, they have volcanoes up there.
Oh, yes, they do.
Oh, yeah. But it says about 9,000, not over 9,000, which you won't understand the meme.
No.
Do you know the 9,000 meme?
No.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm just gonna play this really quick. I know you're not gonna get this.
Meme me.
Over 9,000. Like this is an old meme here. Hold on a second. Let me increase the sound.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000! What, 9,000? There's no way that can be right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it became a meme. Like it's a
Over
thing.
9,000.
It's over 9,000. 1786, the first newspaper published west of Alleghenies, Pitt's Gazette. Didn't we just talk about the Alleghenies? Yeah, the Allegheny Mountains. I wonder if these are the same things.
I would think so.
Because we were talking about the first schoolhouse west of the Allegheny Mountains.
Oh.
But then we have the first newspaper west of the Alleghenies. So, like, what's with these Alleghenies and west? Why is that so important? What the hell are the Alleghenies?
Well, what are they? Let's look it up. What are the Alleghenies?
That is a good
Alleghenies
question.
Mountains or whatever you want to look up.
Alleghenies. All right, so let's look it up here. The Alleghenies. The Allegheny Mountains, informally the Alleghenies, so they are connected, is part of the vast Appalachian mountain range of the eastern United States and Canada, and pose a significant barrier to land travel in less developed areas. Okay, so that is a significant thing.
In our own country. We don't even know of them.
Well, we don't know.
A lot of things we don't know about.
Well, yeah, there's... yeah. But yeah, no. So now I understand. What the big deal is. It's a hard area to pass, and so as soon as you start developing on the other side of it, hey, we made it. You know.
True.
And manifest destiny. Let's keep going. 1793, Jean Graves Simcoe decided to build a fort and settlement at Toronto, having sailed into the bay. So happy birthday, Toronto. Or at least before it became incorporated as a city or town or whatever the hell it was. This is when it first started.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And Toronto is
Like what?
Canada.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, in Ontario, Canada.
Ah.
So, 1835, the first sugar plantation in Hawaii was established. And I remember we've had banterings about pineapple and sugar plantations in Hawaii and all that whatnot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just reminded me of of our past conversations. I almost even put a little thing like it reminds me of the loon. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, sugar went from Hawaii because of the expense of the land to Cuba.
Yeah. Now, what's really interesting is that just 1 year later, so think about this, 1835, the first sugar plantation in Hawaii, okay?
Yeah.
1 year later, the Arc de Triomphe was inaugurated in Paris in 1836.
Same day.
Well, on the same dates, just 1 year later.
Okay.
The Arc de Triomphe is younger than sugar plantations in Hawaii
okay. There's
by
where
1
you're
year.
connected. Okay,
But I mean,
gotcha.
you
Yeah.
think about the Arc de Triomphe, you think about Napoleon, that's a couple hundred years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like, wow. 1847, Cumberland School of Law was found in Lebanon, Tennessee, in the U.S. At the end of 1847, only 15 law schools existed in the U.S. Huh. So if you wanted to be a blood-sucking parasite, your choices were limited. But
Fortunately, we expanded on the 15.
Yes. 1848, during the Irish potato famine, we have the Tipperary Revolt, an unsuccessful nationalist revolt against British rule put down by police. Sounds like a fascist action to me.
Just kicking back up one. Do you know how you can tell a lawyer's lying?
If he's breathing?
Close. When his lips move.
Ah. Okay. 1851, Annabelle de Gasperis discovered asteroid 15 Euonyma. Cool.
Yeah.
Discovering an asteroid.
Yeah.
We have the Treaty of Amity in 1858, as well as the Commerce/Harris Treaty was signed between U.S. and Japan, opening Japanese ports to trade. 1858.
So what's the first treaty called again?
The Treaty of Amity. Amity, whatever that is. Not amity.
Yeah.
But amity.
Yeah, Amity.
Like the Amityville Horror or something,
Yeah, whatever it is.
Oh. You want me to look it up or something? I mean,
No, I've never heard of it before.
Well, there's
It's
so
kind of
many
important.
treaties,
Yeah. It's really important.
Yeah.
That's true. There is a bunch.
Yeah, it's more important to Japan than it was for us because Japan, if they stayed steadfast in their culture, there would not be a Japan today. They would have been conquered and taken over. Because they refuse to play with everybody else. Everybody else can play together. They advance. Japan is left in the dust. So Japan only works with us because they don't want to be taken over. You know, but culturally, as with all Asian nations, you know, Japan, Laos, you know, Taiwan, the Philippines, North and South Korea, China, all of them, culturally, they all think that they're the superior number one thing on the earth, and everything else is beneath them. That's their culture. If I'm wrong, then let me know. You know, that's what I know. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll change my tune. You know, but as far as I'm aware, that's how it is. And, you know, that's why, you know, Japan did what they did to China in World War II, and why China is doing what they're doing today. You know, it's a superiority complex. 1862, during the American Civil War, Confederate spy Belly Boyd was arrested by Union troops and detained at the old Capitol Prison in Washington, D.C. All right. Just 2 years later, in 1864, once again during the Civil War, we have the battle at Deep Bottom Run, Virginia, third and last day. Now, that went in there because usually when you think of battles, you know, it's only like, you know, what, a couple hours long, maybe a day. Sometimes battle can last for days, weeks,
True.
months, or
Years.
even years. Like you talk about the Battle of Stalingrad,
Yeah.
like, you know, that lasted years. And by extension, you know, it's a very loose term, but the Battle of the Atlantic essentially lasted the entirety of World War II. Because that was, you know, like the shipping and you know, and all that stuff.
Technically.
Yeah. What else do we got here? 1874, Major Walter Copton Wingfield patented a portable tennis court.
What?
And that makes you think, like,
What?
is that ping pong, table tennis, like that? Let's see here.
Wouldn't be a court.
Yeah, but how do you portable courts?
I don't know. And why would you? Well, you take it wherever you want to play, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Lawn tennis.
Lawn tennis. Okay.
Well, that's what tennis used to always played on lawn, and that's the tradition now of Wimbledon, still on grass.
Yeah. I'm trying to find here. Okay, now we're in 1890, so we're beyond that. 1875. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. The service had to be made from a diamond-shaped box at one end only, and the service had to bounce beyond. Okay, so this is telling me us the rules. Pertaining to a ball game. Between July 1874 and July 1875, 1,050 tennis sets were sold, mainly to the aristocracy. Okay, so it was, I guess lawn tennis is a portable, because you can portable it, you know.
I guess.
Technically, you know, you can, like, you know, collapse it down and rebuild it. So I guess.
How do you move the sod though?
You just set it up on the sod, like, you know, just go to an open field and set it up. But hold on a second. It says here, Wingfield patented a new and improved court for playing the ancient game of tennis and began marketing this game in the spring of 1874, which is, you know, right about this time. Selling box sets that included rubber balls imported from Germany, as well as a net, poles, court markers, rackets, and an instruction manual. So you just
go and set it up on someone's lawn.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
okay.
it's you set it up.
You just take
all
the pieces. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that makes sense. What else do we got here? 1884, Society of Independent Artists was founded in Paris by Albert Dubois Pillet, Aurélien Redon, Georges Sirot, and Paul Signac. All right, so cool.
Yeah.
You know, if you're an independent artist, you know, like, you need some recognition. You know, join the society to help you.
The Artsy Fartsy Society.
Yeah. 1899, the first motorcycle race in Manhattan Beach, New York.
Ooh,
Ooh, yeah.
I didn't know there was a Manhattan Beach in New York.
Well, of course, there's Manhattan, and there's a beach.
Manhattan Beach would be, well,
Yeah.
Manhattan, though, I don't think is on a beach.
There's beaches
It's
on
on
it.
the water.
Yeah. There were beaches on it before they built a whole city on the whole
I
thing.
guess you're probably
Like,
right.
well, I mean, like, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's see here. 1889 or 1899, Southern California Golf Association formed. Ooh, cool.
How about that?
Yeah. And then we have the first Hague Convention concerning land war customs and laws was signed. You know, this is where you lose me. War is war. As soon as you start coming in, like, you know, oh, well, you know, this is illegal, that's legal, this is... No, it's war. Stuff it up your hat. I'm going to do what the hell I want because it's war. You know?
But Hague Convention? What the heck?
The Hague. The Hague, the Hague.
Hague.
The Hague,
Oh, okay.
Hague.
Yeah, Hague.
Yeah,
It'd
the
be
Netherlands.
Hague. Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Okay.
Well, Hague Convention, what the hell?
I'm just pronouncing it wrong,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah, no.
No.
Okay.
1900 in Italy, King Umberto I of Italy was assassinated by Italian-born anarchist Gaetano Bresci. Oh, yikes. 1902, Union of Orthodox Rabbis of U.S. and Canada forms. Now, that makes me wonder, why not include Mexico and make it the Union of Orthodox Rabbis in North America? You know? What do they got against the Mexicans? You have Canada, you have Mexico, Canada and United States. Just bring in the third guy and make it the whole three. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Well, like that. Yeah, I'm not gonna say what's on my mind, but this kind of sounds like that they have something against Mexicans.
Or do they not consider Mexico part of North America? They consider it Central America.
Well, there's also these are rabbis and Mexicans are primarily Catholic.
True.
So.
Oh, there's a biggie right there.
So yeah, but there has to be Jewish Mexicans out there.
Really? You think?
I mean, I've never met one, but they have to exist.
Well,
I mean, have you ever met one?
no.
But they have to exist, right?
Nothing has to, but
Well, I mean, just by statistics and numbers, there has to be. You know what? Like, hold on a second. Are there Jewish Mexicans?
what a horrible.
Oh, there we go.
question.
History of Jews in Mexico. So there. Well,
Okay,
it's
so Jews were
it's
Mexico.
not a
You're
horrible
right.
question.
You're
I
100% right.
I mean, it just has to happen. Just by numbers. Like, there has to be Jews and there has to be Mexican Muslims too. Like, just by the.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. I wonder if they're merchants.
Now we're going into the horrible thing. Yikes.
Yeah, I'm taking my lead from you.
Now, where do you think I got it from? You can't take
Don't
back
throw
what
it
was
back
given.
at me. Don't throw it back at me.
But I learned it. I learned it from you, Dad. I learned it from you. Anyway, 1905, U.S. Secretary of War William Howard Taft made secret agreement with Japanese Prime Minister Katsura, agreeing to Japanese free reign in Korea in return for non-interference with the U.S. and Philippines. All right, I don't like how doing secret things like that.
No.
That's kind of, and this was before arguably like the worst president in the history of our nation, Woodrow Wilson. He was what, 1911, 1912, 13, somewhere in there?
Not sure.
I know he created the Federal Reserve, signed it into law. So, but I don't like these secret deals and everything. So, 1907, we have the first helicopter ascent in Douai, France, wherever that is. So, first, let's look this up here. Douai, France. Let's get some images here. Okay, let's see. Can we get a map? Okay, so there's Douai. So it's up over here.
Where's Paris on there? You see it?
Paris. There's Bruxelles. Paris would have to be down here somewhere. I think there's Luxembourg over there. Paris is not on the map here, so I think Paris.
Luxembourg's in Germany, right?
Yeah, and Bruxelles has to be in Brussels.
So it's up in the northeast, I guess.
Yeah, there's Dunkirk up there.
Yeah, so it's fairly close to somewhat
The
close
border.
to the ocean.
No, the ocean's over here. This is way inland.
Not way inland, but yeah, it's substantial.
Yeah. I mean,
Closer than I'm going by Paris. Closer than Paris, probably.
well, let's see here. What does this map show us? Hold on a second. I did not want to click that. Open image in new tab. There we go. And we were looking for. Okay, so here's Douai, right up
Way
here.
up north, yeah, right on the
And
edge. That's
Paris
why.
is down here. So I was right. It was just under the map.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, there it is.
So it is up on the edge. That's why you got Luxembourg and all that in there.
Yeah. Interesting. Let's see here. What else do we got here? 1907 as well. Sir Robert Baden-Powell formed Boy Scouts in England.
Ah,
Yeah.
in England. So does that mean they already existed?
Yeah, well, no. The Boy Scouts of America started after it happened in England. Like we got that idea from England.
Okay.
Now, what's the difference between the Boy Scouts and the Hitler Youth?
Do you have an answer to that?
Nothing.
Oh.
It's just because it's the same concept. You're indoctrinating children. We view the Hitler Youth as a bad thing because of all that stuff.
Yeah.
But what do the Boy Scouts, teach? Oh, America, blah blah, patriotism, bang our chests. Oh, it's the same thing in concept. The Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, the Hitler Youth. As soon as you bring in children, and any involving patriotic or anything like indoctrinating them to recite the Pledge of Allegiance in school, you do not have my support. Leave children alone. So
The difference between the Hitler Youth and the Boy Scouts is they lost, we won.
exactly. Anyway, moving on up to 1908, St. Louis Browns' future Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher Rube Waddell struck out 16 Philadelphia A's in a 5-4 win against his previous team at Sportsman Park 2. That's in St. Louis. Wow, traitor.
I believe Sandy Koufax struck out 18 one time. It's the first thing that comes to mind.
I vaguely remember, I think, talking about that actually on a show. So I think we've covered that. Oh.
That's 18 out of 27 batters. Outs.
Well, that's impressive.
Very
Yeah.
impressive.
1910, JWEL Hilgers was the first Dutchman to fly above Dutch territory. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So the first person to fly over, your native land. I mean, that's
Yeah.
so weird, but it's little things like that is what really, makes this show.
It's the little stuff that
Yeah.
makes it. Yeah, absolutely right. I've said that 100 times.
Because that makes me think. Okay, who was the first, Native American to fly? In a balloon. Who was the first, white person to fly over England? Or to fly over whatever. Like, who's the first of of all the groups over all the nations? It has to be documented somewhere.
I would think so.
Who was the first African to fly over Africa? 1913, independence of the Principality of Albania recognized by the Conference of London. All right. I'm all for independence. In 1914, we have the first transcontinental phone link made between New York City and San Francisco. Very fitting. One liberal hellhole to another. 1914 as well, in response to Austria's declaration of war on Serbia, Russian diplomats and general urged general mobilization, but the Tsar called for partial mobilization. So this is before the First World War. Because I remember it starts on November 11th.
No, before, and this is when?
1914.
That's still before?
November 11th. Is it November yet?
No.
So it's coming up.
Yeah, no, I know that.
So this is, the mobilization leading up to...
1914 is the beginning of the war? World War I?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always think it was a year earlier for some reason.
No, it wasn't 13.
I know, I think I get corrected all the time in history.
Well, it's November 11th, 1914, and I remember that because they made a whole big deal, the 11th hour, the 11th day of the 11th month, and all that stuff, and so they ended it.
Of the 11th year?
Yeah. No. No, it didn't last that long. But there is an interesting video, Final Moments of War. And I'm not sure if it's... Oh, yeah, it's rather long. But this video says, End of War, the Final Minutes of World War I. And this basically showcases all the various sides. And I don't want to spoil it to you. But I really want to watch it. So let's see. Final Moments World War I. Let me add that in the underbar section as well. But it's a real tragedy because at the end, there's it showcases what the Germans are going through, what the U.S. are going, what the French are going through, what all the different allies, all the different sides. They know it's the end is coming.
Yeah.
But it's not over, so they have to sit there and wait. And then some people got out of cover, and then they get shot at because the war is still on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so.
And World War I didn't solve it.
No.
It ended, but it didn't solve it.
Well, it would have solved it had we not been so hard on Germany.
True.
I mean, Germany was on the wrong side, but we got in on so they had nothing to do with Franz Ferdinand.
Yeah.
What the hell? Leave Germany alone. And because of that, I would argue, if it wasn't for Western aggression, then Hitler would have never rose to power.
Possible.
So, anyway, moving on up to 1915, Pirate Honus Wagner at 41 hit a grand slam home run. All right.
Yeah, the great Honus Wagner.
Yeah, Honus Wagner. Honus.
Honus, yeah.
Honus, okay. Cajones? Cajones? I don't know. 1916, Cochrane and Matheson forest fire, 500,000 acres or 2,000 square kilometers. In size in Ontario took about 223 lives. It led to improved techniques and legislation for preventing and control of forest fires. Well, that apparently didn't work out too well, because remember all those fires that went off simultaneously just north of New York in Canada a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Like, it was wild. You know, they show satellite images, and there's like, you know, like at least a dozen, if not more, fires you could see, all started simultaneously. They all they all had the same length, plume of smoke. It was obviously, intentionally created for something. Like, they're trying to push, all this like climate change crap. So it's like, oh, well, people aren't buying climate change. Well, let's set an entire forest on fire, and then they'll believe it. Because people are dumb. 1920, the first successful transcontinental U.S. airmail flight from New York to San Francisco. Here we go again. What's from New York to San Francisco?
Hey, I remember back in the day, you could send a letter through the post office, or if you wanted it there fast, you could send it airmail. Yeah. I think airmail was something like 8 cents, and a regular stamp was 3.
Now, you want to know something really crazy? People used to send their children through the mail, and I'm talking about babies. You want to know why?
Good. Go ahead.
Because it was unregulated, and it was cheaper than sending them, like on a train or whatever. And like now they
survived.
Well, they didn't pack them into a box, but because it wasn't illegal, they're just like, oh hey, can you deliver this baby?
On this.
No, seriously. Like, hold on a second.
Oh man.
Delivering babies through mail. No, there's a photo right here of a postal guy, and he has a baby in a satchel. Like, they literally deliver baby. Well, oh hey, deliver the baby to the grandparents, and then you deliver it back. Like, so, but we have multiple, so many different. Like, look at that. They just put them in a satchel.
So at least they weren't in a box.
No, they didn't put them in a box.
I'm glad of that.
But I mean,
that's the first image you get. Pack them in there.
I mean, they don't do this, But no, they did actually just put them in a freaking satchel, and they're like, oh hey, deliver this across the way or to another state or whatever it is, what have you, and then eventually the government had to make a law because there wasn't one.
Yeah.
But see, this is what I'm saying. Like,
can you imagine today putting your baby's life, trusting your baby to the postal service?
Oh well, that's a whole nother bag of hammers.
Yeah, I know,
right there.
but I mean, the fact that they did then, they trusted their baby to the postal service.
Well, back then people were really, I say people are dumb. People were a lot, more dumb, back in the day. But then again, like in the age of technology, ignorance is a choice.
Yeah.
So, who's dumber? The people the people who are ignorant without the access of information, or the people who are ignorant with the access to information?
Yep.
I would argue people who trust government to any degree are the bottom of the barrel, stupidest of the stupid. So, anyway, moving on up to 1920 as well, we have a construction of the Link River Dam began as part of the Klamath Reclamation Project in Oregon. Okay.
Climate reclamation?
Klamath.
Oh, okay.
Klamath Reclamation Project. Not climate.
Okay.
Klamath.
I wonder if that's by Klamath Falls up in Oregon.
Klamath, well, I mean, I would have to say yes. I mean, they're both in Oregon. They're both named Klamath. This is a dam, so it involves water.
Yeah. I believe Klamath Falls is in Oregon. I'm not sure.
Well,
find out for me. Klamath Falls.
All right, let's see here. Klamath.
I'm sorry, we're getting off track here, but it's just curious.
No, this is what this show's about. Klamath Falls in Oregon. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
I would say
they're obviously one in the same area.
Yeah.
Same thing.
1920 as well. Mexican rebel Pancho Villa surrendered.
Ooh, Pancho Villa.
Yeah. 1921, Adolf Hitler became leader of the National Socialist German Workers' Party. A little interesting, how we're just a few days apart from a certain cackling, crazy lady from California becoming the Democratic nominee.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put the two together here.
I know. How you go from being the socialist workers leader to a fascist?
Well,
step one, step two, I guess.
Well, socialism.
Yeah.
That's how. 1921, Cleveland.
Socialism isn't fascism, though.
Yeah, but they're
leading to it.
But I mean, they're
it's
adjacent.
like communism isn't fascism.
Yeah. Well, one leads to it. So. 1921 as well, Cleveland's 125th anniversary celebration. Cy Young, at the age of 54, pitches 2 innings. Yeah. Cool.
And today they have the best pitcher of the year gets the Cy Young Award.
Yeah. We also have new rules of language assumed. Equal rights, Flemings, Wallen, and Belgium. Okay, whatever that is, that sounds good. Equal rights, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
You know. 1922, Greek troops defeated Turkish forces and started their way to Constantinople, but the Allies forbade them from taking the city. That's stupid. Like, Constantinople, that was the Ottoman Empire, part of the Central Powers. So they were the bad guys. So, Greek was, they were on our side.
Yeah.
They're like, and Constantinople, the Ottoman, they came and they took over the Greek, peninsula and all that stuff. At least the Gallipoli Peninsula. Remember the Gallipoli campaign and all that stuff. One of the major tragedies in all of warfare. But why would you tell them, don't go take the capital of one of the major leaders of the opposing faction?
Yeah.
Are you stupid? 1923, Albert Einstein spoke on pacifism in Berlin. 1923.
No.
Let's not forget that Albert Einstein was a Jew in Germany.
Yeah.
And he fled because of the Holocaust.
Yeah.
So.
Against
Hitler.
pacifism, which means...
He was for pacifism. Or he speaks on pacifism, so
Yeah.
it doesn't say either way, but he speaks on it.
Well, my interpretation, I could be 100% wrong now that you say that, I was immediately thinking that he's speaking on it as people being too passive against what's happening. That was my immediate interpretation, and now that you reread it, I could be 100% wrong.
Well, maybe he might be speaking that people are not doing anything against the rising socialist party. Yeah, maybe.
That was my interpretation immediately. Maybe wrong.
Maybe. I don't know.
Doesn't say. Okay.
Yeah, it's vague. 1927, this one's going to send shivers down your spine. The first iron lung was installed in Bellevue Hospital, New York.
Oh, you are not kidding.
Yeah.
Scared to death of that to this day.
Yeah, you want to let the audience know? Like, I know you said it before, but you just...
I don't know. What year was this?
1927.
Oh, way before. Way before
you're a
my
little
time.
lad.
But no, TV was relatively new in your home, and they were doing a thing on polio, and they had kids in iron lungs. And I'm looking at this going, and they're going to be in there, and it breathes for you.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were going to be in there for the rest of their lives. And I'm looking at that going, oh, no. I mean, it stayed with me to this day.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
You talk about scaring the bejeebies out of a young kid.
Yeah. Hey, if you get this disease, you'll not only lose your childhood, but you'll
be
spend
in
the
an
rest of
iron
your
lung for
entire
your
life
life
in a freaking machine, and you can't do anything.
It's a big round deal with your head sticking
Just
out.
kill me. At that point, just let me die.
Yeah.
Like, I as opposed to, what George Carlin said, you find a hole in me, put a tube in it.
Yeah.
No, if I'm on any form of life support, just kill me. If I can't ride a bike, if I become crippled, if I become blind, if I become deaf, if I become mute, if I become any of this, just kill me.
Nah.
Plenty
to offer.
Well, more kudos to those who are living life with disabilities, but
yeah,
I'd rather not.
Exactly.
I'd rather not. That's just me. 1927, Phil Mead scores his 100th 100, Hampshire versus Northants.
It's got to be cricket.
It is. There you go.
I had no idea what I heard words.
Yeah, you heard.
Put together in some weird form.
And you're learning. If you read something verbatim and you feel like you have a stroke, don't worry. It's just cricket.
Cricket.
Yeah. 1928, Cleveland Indians scored 17 in first 2 innings to defeat New York Yankees 24-6 at Dunn Field. Yeah, they were done. They also set a record with 24 singles in one game. Yikes!
Wow.
wow, okay, like we get it. You're good. Okay, cool. 1928, test footage first created for Walt Disney's Steamboat Willie with Mickey Mouse, which is in public domain now, by the way. So, 1930, 115 degrees Fahrenheit, 46 Celsius in Holly Springs, Mississippi, state record. That's
Jeez.
hot. So, yeah.
Not kidding.
We also have airship R100, the first passenger-carrying flight from England to Canada. And it says airship, so it has to be a dirigible. Let's look at. Oh yeah, so that's the first air flight from England to Canada on a blimp. Cool.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I always knew those Brits were full of hot air. So, 1932, during the Great Depression in Washington D.C., U.S. troops dispersed the last of the bonus army of World War I veterans. Now here we go again. People talk about how bad the VA is today. They've always been VA, but they've always been bad. You know what the bonus army was?
No idea.
The bonus army were veterans of World War I who never got their promised financial compensation. For getting their leg blown off, their face melted, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like just as it is today, it was back then. So that's what this bonus army was. Actually, let me look up the actual definition. Bonus army, World War I. See, the bonus army. It was a group of 43,000 demonstrators, 17,000 veterans of U.S. involvement in World War I, their families, and affiliated groups who gathered in Washington, D.C. in mid-1932 to demand early cash redemption of their... Early? This is 30s, and the war ended in 18. This is a decade and a half after the fact. Early my ass. Give them their money! To demand early cash redemption for their service bonus certificates. Organizers called the demonstrators the Bonus Expeditionary Force, the BEF, to echo the name of World War I's American Expeditionary Forces, while the media referred them to as the Bonus Army or Bonus Marchers. The demonstrators were led by Walter W. Waters, a former sergeant. So these are people marching and demanding what they were promised and not being given. And in response, what does the U.S. do? They used military action to disperse. How the hell can you use military against the same military? I am so mad at this.
Yeah. Not good.
Screw you, Washington. Screw you. Give them their due deserves. I
can't argue with it. Not quite as passionate as you are, but I can't argue.
I'm about ready to march on these people, like almost 100 years later. I'm about to march on
But they
representation
don't tell
of
us
these people.
if they finally did get it.
I don't think they did.
Yeah, let's hope they did.
I hope so, but I mean, if our government is so evil that they not only refuse to pay, like military veterans, for keeping this nation alive.
What they were promised. They're not asking for
But then they
anything.
use the same military, the new guys, to get rid of the old guys. Evil. 1933, police shootout with Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow's gang in Iowa left one member, Clyde brothers Buck Barrow, dead and one captured. Bonnie and Clyde do escape. So this is not the famous.
The final one.
That is not the famous one with the rattling of the car.
Yeah, at least that's the way we see it in the movies.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, the car was completely rattled.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they took some history study on that and made it as accurate as they could.
And no, let me show you Bonnie and Clyde's car. No, this is the actual car. They peppered him.
Yeah.
That wasn't movie, Matt. That wasn't Hollywooding. They opened on them, gave them no shot. No, well, pun not intended, but welcomed. But yeah, 1937, Japanese troops occupied Peking and Tientsin. Prior to the outbreak of World War I, but Japan was invading China and everything else for well over a decade. Japan, evil conquerors nation.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how China is evil conquerors nation. Once again, Asian, cultures and all that stuff. Superiority complex, all that jazz. So, 1938, Olympic National Park established in Washington State, longest undeveloped coastline in America. Huh.
Read that again?
Olympic National Park established in Washington State. So, not D.C., but the state above California.
Yeah, right.
Longest undeveloped coastline in America. So, it's a national park of coastline that don't build houses, don't build, anything. Let's see if we can get a map of this. All right.
So,
Um,
so it should be still pristine today.
if it's still a national park.
If it's still a national park.
It looks like it is. And I remember, like, when I went up and visited Washington, most of this entire area is all, like, undeveloped, as
Right.
we would say.
Right.
No, as you say, it's completely developed.
It's fully developed. Yeah.
By nature,
Yeah.
you know? Here's a better image of it. So, Olympic National Park.
Okay.
Well, how the hell can you
It's
even
not on
say
the- I thought it was
coastline?
on
It's
the
not even
coast.
on the coast.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this slash is here. You see this
Oh,
sliver
yeah,
of green
a
over
little
here?
Sliver, yeah.
North Wilderness Coastal Section. So it's a part of it. It's disconnected,
Yeah.
but it kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then we have Port Angeles up here. Okay.
And the coast may be the original, and then they annexed years later. Government took over the rest of that land. It could be a 2-step deal, 3-step. Who knows?
Maybe. I don't know.
Or all at once. Who knows?
Yeah.
But the coast is there. Okay. I'm glad you saw a little green strip.
Yeah.
It's tiny, but
Yeah, but you gotta look, you know?
that's awesome though.
Yeah.
Kind of want to go see it now.
Yeah. I want to stay the hell away from Washington and Oregon, though. Look, we're not too much better,
Unfortunately.
in Cali. But,
We're no better.
Well, at least we're in a little pocket, of resistance, behind enemy lines, so to speak. 1942, Eastern Boulevard in the Bronx, New York City, renamed Buckner Boulevard in honor of former Bronx Borough President and U.S. Congressman Henry Buckner. All right.
Hey!
Yo, welcome to the show, King. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, talk about late. I thought you were late, Loon. Here we go, 46 minutes in.
Hey, he's here. That's
Yeah,
all I
better
got.
late than never, as I said before.
I know.
How you doing?
Pretty good. Slept pretty well. It's awesome.
Nice. Sleep is always nice. Gonna move on up to 1943. This one blew my mind. 1 million inhabitants fled Hamburg. Like at once or what? Like was there like a freaking
1943.
43? Obviously during World War II.
Yeah.
Hamburg, Germany.
Yep.
But they're already like way, like
You wonder why?
why'd they wait so late? Like.
Well, what caused them to flee? I wonder.
I mean, they can't be Jews. They've already left, or they've been captured, or there would not be
something.
there would not be 1 million Jews in Hamburg by this late in the war left. That are hiding. At least they'd either be gone or they'd be captured. There wouldn't be that massive number, let alone amount to escape. So I just wonder. Let's just look this up here really quick. Surface level scratch of this article. Because that's a lot of people.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, well, bombing. So it could have been like, an aerial bombing. So all these
time
people.
to go. We're being bombed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, dude, look at that picture.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Look at all the husks of buildings.
Wow.
And that's just a section. Which is weird. Look at all the pristine trees. But, it's almost like there's a line. These buildings over here are left untouched. So it's almost like there's a wall.
And
Destruction and pristine.
Especially when you have to consider there was no such thing as smart bombs.
Well, yeah, that's why they did mass bombings.
Yeah.
Just to,
Yeah.
hey, we have this one little target. Let's just throw everything we got on it. We'll guarantee a
But
hit.
hence, the
collateral
rural
damage.
stuff is all seems to be okay.
Yeah.
They did pretty good at targeting.
Well, it's not just that. It's killing civilians wins wars, as I say. It's an ugly truth. It's a disgusting, evil thing to say. But when you're at war, who's feeding the troops? Who's making the guns? Who's making the planes? Who's making the tanks? Who's making the bullets? It ain't the soldiers. They're just using it.
Yeah.
So if you want to win a war, you go after the civilians. That's that's what we did in World War I, World War II, Vietnam. That's what Israel's doing in Gaza. You want to win a war, you go after the civilians. You go after the industry. The soldiers fighting each other. That's just off to a side. The main fight is destroying the infrastructure. So, as I said, it's a sick thing, but that's how it is. 1943 as well, Nazis evacuated a Hollenstein Theater in Amsterdam. It has to be, once again for bombings.
Yeah.
And speaking of bombings, 1 year later, 1944, the U.S. 4th Armored Division occupied... actually, no, hold on a second. That was the wrong one. 1944, Allied Air Force bombed Germany for 6 hours. So, you know, bombings,
Yep,
bombings,
yep,
bombings, you
yep.
know, all that stuff. So,
Continuous.
destroying civilians wins wars, you know? Sir King, have you caught up with us by chance? 47?
1947 gas leak explodes in beauty parlor, killing 10 women in Harrisburg, Virginia.
Yikes.
Really?
Yeah, so they go in, you know, to get their hair done, and they die. So, and this was not an act of terror or anything. It was just a gas leak, you know. Just so.
Yeah.
But 10, you know, that sucks. Kind of reminds me of that scene from Final Destination where the two females died in the tanning thing. So.
Oh yeah, gives new meaning to getting your hair done for a new look.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be your ghost look. So yeah. What else do we got?
1948, King George VI opens the 14th Summer Olympic Games at Wembley Stadium in London.
Now I gotta say, I never mentioned this before, King, but I am genuinely impressed at your knowledge of Roman numerals. You're the first person, to my recollection, who has never had problems, you know, really on the show regarding those.
It really depends. If you get up there into like the Super Bowl numbers,
Well,
it's like
when you start getting M and all that stuff. Okay, that's you know,
M and the B's. It's like I don't know that one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, you know, like all the other people we've had, like, you know, like Muffin, Alice, you know, like, you know, like, so many other people we've had. Nobody has I've basically, like, I've essentially live on air trained, like, at least 6 people on Roman numerals. At least.
It is pretty basic because it's so repetitive. I mean, you get up into the bigger ones, forget it, you know, but,
Yeah.
you know, X is 100.
X is 10.
I'm sorry, 10, not 100.
Yeah.
See, I'm already screwing up.
Yeah. But no, but you know, I you know, might not seem significant, but like, I'm genuinely impressed. You've been the first person I haven't had to train about Roman numerals, and you know, I find that cool. You know, so
Blame video games.
hey, Final Fantasy, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, exactly. Final Fantasy is how I learned Roman numerals.
Hey, you know, whatever works, man. I learned not just Roman numerals, but how to tell time because we have this big ass clock, and I mean, enormous. Like, what would you say? It's 6 feet across. It's a big clock downstairs.
Probably 5 feet across.
It's not a huge clock, but it's in Roman numerals.
Yeah.
You know, so I learned how to tell time as well as Roman numerals from that because we've always had that clock.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, awesome.
yeah, I got to show it to you. Actually, it's massive. So, what else do we got here? 49.
1949.
Wait a minute. This is not.
Yeah, it's 1950.
They took this off the list. This was here yesterday. I know I put this in here yesterday. 1949, Moscow ended the blockade of West Berlin. Why would they take that off?
I don't know.
Were they wrong, or are they trying to hide something? Like,
I don't know. I have
don't
no
know.
idea.
Huh. Anyway, 50 then, I guess.
Pee Wee Reese hits
Sorry.
his 3,000th home run for the Dodgers.
Yeah,
Oh.
Pee Wee Reese.
All right.
1950, William Ingey's stage drama Come Back Little Sheba, starring Shirley Booth and Sidney Blackmere, closes at the Booth Theater, New York City after 191 performances and 2 Tony Award wins.
Nice. Pretty good. 1952, here we have the first non-stop trans-Pacific flight by jet.
Oh,
Wow.
that's
Oh.
pretty early.
52, yeah. Well, we were talking about this yesterday about, you know, the
Yeah.
first commercial. So
Yeah.
early 50s, but this is for, like, you know, the upper echelons before it really became
Right.
more public and all
Right.
that stuff.
Not for us plebs.
Yeah. 1953, a U.S. bomber was shot down by Soviet air defense forces in the Sea of Japan, north of Vladivostok. Cold War stuff. Here we go. But why don't you take 54? This is definitely a U article.
1954, publication of the Fellowship of the Ring, first volume, Lord of the Ring, by J.R.R. Tolkien and George Allen, and Unwin in London.
Oh, so it wasn't just Tolkien. He's the guy who gets all the credit, but there are other people involved with it too. I did not know that.
So there's 3 guys. The third guy has the one name, like Madonna.
Huh. I don't know. Because it says by J.R.R. Tolkien. Oh, wait. So it's written weird. So George Allen and Unwin are the publishers.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, now that makes sense. Because the publication of him, by him, by these people. So,
okay.
It's just,
now I get it.
English is so weird sometimes. Like, 57? Where is it? Hold on a second. Here, this one here.
International Atomic Energy Agency is formed by the United States.
Nations. United Nations.
United Nations.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Atomic stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on to 1958, Southern Pacific Bay ferry stop operating in San Francisco. So like the boat ferries are Southern Pacific Bay ferries, I guess. So there's a ferry service.
Yeah, well,
San
there still
Francisco.
is one today, but I don't know
But
what it is.
not Southern Pacific Bay.
Obviously
anymore,
not.
So, yeah. 58 as well. President Eisenhower signed into law the National Aeronautics and Space Act of 1958, establishing NASA.
Yeah.
Hey. And what does NASA stand for?
National Aeronautics Space
Administration. No, it stands for never a straight answer. Yeah. And 1959, first United States Congress elections in Hawaii as a State of the Union.
Hey.
Yeah, cool. So now they're finally getting. When is Puerto Rico gonna get there? They're like, yeah. Anyway, let's have King take us into 60s here.
1961, Bob Dylan is not seriously injured in a car accident in New York City.
Yeah.
Now, initially, I did not have this in the script, but something is coming up that had me go back and put it in.
Oh, really?
So we'll get to that here in a minute. But let's move on up here to the baseball. King?
1961, Philadelphia Phillies lose 4-3 in San Francisco against San Francisco Giants on Connie Mack Stadium. First of MLB record 23 straight defeats. Nice.
So for the next 22 games, the Phillies are going to lose.
Apparently so.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Oh.
1961, Wallace and Futuna Islands become a French overseas territory.
Which is really interesting because something that I learned, about the Olympics is that when you think about the Olympics, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, this year it's being hosted in Paris, which is in France, So you think like, okay, you're going to go there, you're going to see the events. Oh, nay. If you want to watch surfing live, you have to go to French Polynesia because that's where it's being held.
That's where the surf is.
But it's a French thing, so it's still technically France. What the hell? Then by all aspects, if the United States hosts the Olympics, then we can have one event, in different states, because it's all
Of course.
Yeah.
Why centralize it? Come on.
Where are you gonna surf in France?
Then don't host
proper?
surfing. Then don't host surfing that year.
No.
Or host the entire Olympics in an area where have everything that's on the dockets be there. Because what if I want to watch surfing and then I want to watch swimming? Now I gotta fly halfway across the world?
Pick one.
No.
Well, if they didn't have it like that, you couldn't watch surfing even if you wanted to. It wouldn't exist. So no, it's way better the way it is.
And we'd have
an
different.
example
I'm sorry. I'm going with Xander's ideas. Like maybe we should have different events every year. Like one year we hosted in a rocky area and put rock climbing in the
and biking, hiking.
And then
cross
when
country.
you change it, we'll all have surfing in the next Olympics or.
Well, I mean, Summer Olympics is for summer sports. Winter Olympics is for winter sports. Okay. Well, then if we're gonna have specific things for the Olympics, then we should have it in the area.
Have you ever seen? Have you ever seen bike racing in the domes? Where they race around in a circle. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
The speed those guys go and the techniques it's like playing chess. Anyway, it's incredible. And just an update on surfing. I was going to watch it last night. They're going to have an update on the Olympic surfing, and it just is too late. I was too damn tired. I said, screw it, I'm going to bed. So I missed it.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell us.
Nah, I wish I did have an update.
Okay. Well, anyway, moving on up, 1965, the Beatles movie Help has royal world premiere in London Pavilion Theatre in the West End of London. Princess Margaret and the Earl of Snowdon attended. Okay, so they got a whole extravaganza opening. Whoop-de-doo, cool. 1965, Major League record 26 strikeouts. Phillies at 16, Pirates at 10. Wow, that's a lot of strikeouts.
Yeah.
Then 1965 here, 1966 here. As I said, here we go. Bob Dylan hurt in a motorcycle accident near Woodstock, New York.
Yeah, I remember.
But same calendar date.
Yeah, that's weird.
Get Bob Dylan off the road.
Yeah, have him just hunker down for a day. You go up one and do, music history.
The first show by rock trio Cream, consisting of guitarist Eric Clapton, bassist Jack Bruce. This wasn't here yesterday. And drummer Ginger Baker at the Twisted Wheel nightclub in Manchester, England.
Awesome. What an awesome group. And Clapton is one of the all-time great.
Oh, Eric Clapton. Yeah, I've heard of the name at least.
Rock blues guys to exist. There's a bunch of them, but he's got to be right at the top with them.
What about Peter Frampton?
Another good one, yeah. A lot of them you can put in there.
Funnily enough, I only know Peter Frampton through a Whitest Kids You Know sketch.
But the best one to me, Stevie Ray Vaughan. That guy was incredible. Incredible.
Now, what do we got here in 1967?
1967, fire abroad aircraft carrier USS Forester in the Gulf of Tonkin kills 134 sailors or dead.
And
is that the Gulf of Tonkin thing?
No. Gulf of this is an aircraft carrier. The Gulf of Tonkin incident was in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Although this is the Gulf of Tonkin. You know what? Because I thought it was a cruiser or something that got blown up or whatever. You were around. You remember the Gulf of Tonkin incident?
I do, and I'm trying to remember what it was. I'm forgetting the Pacific.
Because this is the Gulf of Tonkin. This is 67, but we've already been in the war by then. The Gulf of Tonkin was what validated our involvement fully into Vietnam, and I thought that was in the early 60s.
This was 65. Yeah,
this was 67.
Oh, we're well into it there. We're well into the war there.
Let's check this out. Gulf of Tonkin incident was 64.
Yeah.
August 2nd, 64. So this was actually that was later than I thought it was. Huh. And here they switched
64
these.
is when it blew up.
Yeah. They switched these around because on my script here, they're on. Anyway, take this one, King.
I'm sorry. 1967 earthquake 6.5 strikes Caracas, Venezuela, causing significant damage.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What it said yesterday is moderate quake at 6.5 strike Caracas, Venezuela, causing severe damage. The same thing. Why did they go in there and change it?
We usually have a number there for
Yeah.
human casualties.
We usually have a what?
Casualty.
We usually have a number for human casualties.
If there were casualties,
That's
maybe
true.
nobody died. Obviously there must have been injuries, but I guess the most significant part of it was all the damage it caused. I don't know. Let's have you take 1969 here, Mariner. There we go.
Mariner 6 begins transmitting far encounter photos of Mars. Awesome.
Nice. Let's see if we can find any of these photos here. Oh, I guess right here maybe it says far encounter photos, so I guess this. Whoa! I did not expect that to be an animation. Oh, so this is it approaching. So this is all the pictures it was taking, and they put them together. Oh, that is cool.
That is really cool.
So that is actually like that is all the photos. It was as it was coming in. Whoa.
That is cool.
That is awesome. What else do we got here? 1970, 6 days of race rioting in Hartford, Connecticut. And here we go again. More
boy.
Yeah. 1973.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Well, there's so many race riots and all that stuff. 1973, Greek plebiscite chose republic over monarchy. Now, what is a plebiscite? Referendum. Okay, so it's a Greek referendum. A plebiscite is another word for referendum. No, political stuff.
Yeah.
So they're choosing a republic over monarchy, which, I'm all for, But then again, as it was said in The Patriot, why should I choose, or why should I switch one tyrant 3,000 miles away over 3,000 tyrants 1 mile away? The creation of Congress.
Yeah.
All that stuff. 1973, Led Zeppelin has more than $200,000 in cash stolen from a safety deposit box in a New York Hilton hotel.
Whoa.
Well, it's not a bank, so what are you doing storing $200,000 in a damn hotel? Are you dumb?
I wonder if the hotel was responsible for it.
But, yeah, I would say they were, but at the same time, really stupid to entrust that kind of money to a freaking hotel. It's not a bank. Put it in a bank. Or something, Oh.
You know how much 100,000 was worth in 70 whatever?
It's worth significant today.
Yeah.
Even more so back then. So if I'm freaking out like that right now,
I got you.
How much more significant was it back then? Anyway, what do we got here? Second impeachment. Here we go. Unless you want to take that.
1974 second impeachment vote against President Nixon by the House of Judiciary Committee.
Wow, so they didn't get him on the first try. That's wild.
Not a crook.
I am not a crook.
But he resigned before they could impeach him.
Ah, okay. 74. That's not it. Hold on a second. Did they switch these around again? Yes, they did. Okay, here we go.
1974 Episcopal.
Yeah.
Dane's female priest.
Episcopal. Church ordains female priests.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm all for.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It's fine.
1975, Ford became the first U.S. president to visit Nazi concentration camp Auschwitz. Wow. So 75.
Yeah.
So it took that long for
someone to go see it.
Yeah. Well, at least a sitting president.
Yes, that's what I mean.
That's that's too long. Oh. But hey, better late than never. But I mean, 70. Actually, I missed one here. 74. MLB St. Louis Cardinals Lou Brock stole his 700th base. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why they keep switching these things around on me. What the hell? Oh. 76 in New York City, the Son of Sam. You remember that? The Son of Sam killer?
Yep.
Kills one person and seriously wounded another in first of a series of attacks. I am Son of Sam,
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. 78, U.S. Penny Dean swum the English Channel in a record 7 hours, 40 minutes, and this record stayed until 1995. All right. 78 as well. Do you want to take this, King? If I can find it. They keep... If it's even on here. No, it's not on here. So... okay, so I'll take it. So this is off of main source now for some reason. Old Timers Day. New York Yankees announced that Billy Martin will return as New York Yankee manager in 1980, and Bob Lemon will become a GM.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So yeah, no, they're switching... Wait, no. Oh, no, it's right here. What the hell? Am I having a stroke?
I don't know. I didn't see it a second ago.
Yeah, so it's not... Did we just experience, like, a shift in reality, like, live or something? Like...
I think you're going a little deep here.
Did a man of it, like, just appear in front of us? Like, that's weird. Anyway, what do we got here in 1980?
1980, David Bowie stars in a dramatic stage play, The Elephant Man, at the Auditorium Theater in Denver, Colorado.
That guy
I've heard
had
about
so much
that.
talent.
Yeah.
Unbelievable amount of talent that guy had.
And he was not immune to 2016, though. That's unfortunate.
No.
2016, the trailer for 2020. Like, how little we knew what was coming. We thought 2016 was an awful year. I mean, like, David Bowie, Gene Wilder, like so many other people. Like, there's this one skit about the man who slept through 2020, through 2016, not 2020. The man who slept through 2016. It's rather funny.
What's going on?
Let me play
Good of you to join us.
Where am I?
How are you feeling?
A bit weird, to be honest. How long have I been asleep?
343 days.
343 days?
We thought we'd let you rest.
For 343
We
days?
thought we'd let you
We
rest.
thought it best to leave you sleeping. Do you remember New Year's Eve?
Oh, God. Any news?
Well, Andy Murray won Wimbledon and became world #1. London elected Sadiq Khan as first Muslim mayor. The astronaut Tim Peake completed his first mission into space. Skepta won the Mercury Prize. Bob Dylan the Nobel Prize for Literature. Tiger numbers have risen for the first time in a century, and Team GB came second in the Olympic Games.
Oh, right. Pretty good year, then. Any bad news?
David
Tom.
Bowie
Yes.
is dead.
Tom.
David Bowie.
Seriously, we haven't even
Well,
scratched the
I'm
surface
sorry,
yet.
but David.
No, I am sorry I had to do that, but you need to steel yourself because it has been one pig of a year and you don't even know the half of it, okay? Bowie, Rickman, Wogan.
Christ,
That's January. February, Umberto Eco, Harper Lee, Sir George Martin, Johan Cruyff, Gary Shandling, Dame Zaha Hadid and Sir Ronnie Corbett. I'm in April now. Vesca, Guest, Prince.
Prince Andrew.
No, he's not dead.
Come on.
Kenny Baker, Gene Wilder.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, like we didn't know how good we had it in 2016. No. Oh yeah, this.
Anton Yelchin, Andrew Sachs,
let me
Eli
play the
Vasos,
finish of this.
Edward Albee, Dario Fo, and then a gorilla got shot in a zoo.
as long as it wasn't Harambe.
It's 2016, no one's safe. Fidel Castro.
That's what I wanted to wrap it up with.
Oh, as long as it wasn't Harambe.
It's 2016. No one's safe. Fuck. So. But yeah, David Bowie, rest in peace. Anyway, let's get back into the show here. What do we have in 1981?
1981, anti-apartheid protesters against Springbok Rugby Tour are confronted by police who use batons to stop them marching to South Africa's council in New Zealand. Ooh.
That is oppression right there.
Oh.
Literally beating them into submission with batons. 83. Here we go. Wow.
1983, Steve Garvey ends his National League record of 1,207 consecutive game streaks.
Now, Steve Garvey, he is today running for the state of California in the next election to be the U.S. Senator for California.
What's
He's
his
running.
politics?
He's a Republican.
Well, I mean, like, I don't care what side he's on. What's his policies? What's he for?
Well, I'm not going to break the whole thing down for you here, but he's a Trump guy,
Okay.
and whatever else. But he's running against a Democrat. Good luck beating him. But he's
California,
running
yeah.
against, unfortunately, one of the most
Gavin
obnoxious-
Newsom? Or no?
No,
It's governor.
what's his name? I just had it and then I forgot it. Creepy. He just flat out lies to your face. When he was
You don't narrow it down when talking
sorry.
about the Democrats.
I'm sorry.
Lies to your face. That's all of them.
yeah. I'm sorry, I can't think of the guy's name. Shifty Shift.
Oh, look,
It
you
was
know,
his nickname, Shifty Shift.
Steve. Hold on a second. This is 2024, right?
Yeah.
And this is
Senate
U.S.
race.
California Senate race. Let's see here. Senate elections.
Steve Garvey and
Adam,
there he is.
Oh yeah, I can
Schiff.
tell by his face. Adam
Yeah,
Schiff.
Adam Schiff.
He looks like a shifter.
He just
you
came
know?
out and lied to the people. Oh, we have so much more on Trump that I can't expose because I'm on the committee. He had nothing.
I'm getting some Reagan vibes from that picture of Steve right there, though.
Yeah.
Like, am I
Or
wrong?
yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying.
It kind of looks like Reagan
Yeah.
a little bit.
I would say he'd be more of a Reaganite than a Trump guy.
Yeah. Bobby looks like Reagan.
But anyways, good luck winning in this.
Well, you and I are going to have
crazy
to
state
talk
of
about
California.
that because, I might vote for him. We'll see. Anyway, 1985, singer Tina Turner filmed a music video for the song One of the Living at Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The song is from the film Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, in which she co-starred with Mel Gibson. Tina Turner was in Mad Max?
Yes.
What?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. And the something dome, whatever it is. I don't know if it was a
Beyond
Mad Max.
Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Mad Max.
Okay, so
Beyond
yeah.
Thunderdome.
Yeah, but it wasn't the original one, is what I'm saying. This is later on. They had a series of.
There was Thunderdome, and this is Beyond.
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
yeah.
I had
But,
no idea
I
that
had
she
the
was
great
in it.
privilege of seeing her live.
Yeah.
Ike and Tina Turner. What a great show she put
You've
on.
seen Janis Joplin live too, right? Or,
Never got to see her, unfortunately.
I want to see that music again. Whoa, 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 whoa. You know that one?
Oh, yeah. That's at Santa Fe Pop Festival when she was really young.
Yeah.
Which is,
1986, Dennis Amiss scored his 100th 100 Warwickshire versus Lancashire.
oh, no. Cricket!
Yeah.
Cricket!
In 1986, the New York jury ruled NFL violated antitrust laws, awarded USFL $1 in damages. It still says $1. So, I was just like, $1? A million? 1,000? Just $1 apparently.
They weren't after money. They were after...
It's not about the money. It's about the message. It's the principle.
Yep.
But hey, I think this was the start of a trend here. King, do you want to tell us what happened in 1987?
1987, Ben and Jerry's ice cream and Jerry Garcia agreed to new flavor, Cherry Garcia cherry ice cream with cherries and fudge flakes.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if this was the first, but there's ever since then there's been so many.
I'm pretty sure Jerry was the first.
I think so too.
Could have been.
Yeah, but then back when I was a fan of Stephen Colbert, when before he went crazy, he had a Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
Oh.
Americone Dream.
Yeah, a lot of them did.
And I tried it. It was pretty good. I liked it.
Anyways,
So,
Jerry Garcia, great deadhead.
yeah. Oh, he looks like one too.
Well, that's the name. Grateful Dead.
Oh yeah.
Their followers were called Deadheads.
Huh. I wouldn't take that as a compliment.
They did, with their tie-dye T-shirts.
Well, that explains things. They were hippies. Waiting for you to say, watch
Nothing.
it. What else do we got here? This one I do not like.
1988, FDIC
Bales.
bails out First Republic Bank Dallas with $4 billion.
$4 billion taxpayer dollars, mind you. They
Ugh.
bailed out a bank.
Yeah. Too big to fail.
Yeah, no, I don't believe in too big to fail.
No,
I think,
don't either.
I just think corruption is just, yeah. Anyway,
But look what W did with the banks in 08 when the whole thing was going to collapse, man. He started pouring money into.
well, look
like
at what
crazy.
government motors did. They got bailed out by taxpayer dollars, and then they still fired droves of people, and then they went on extravagant vacations on your money, taxpayers, your money. We gotta do something about this. I'm so tired of this crap. So. Anyway, 1988 as well, a judge ordered NASA to release unedited tape from Challenger cockpit. And I believe that's Challenger disaster, maybe? That sounds about right. Challenger disaster was what, 84?
I'm trying to think.
I think it was 84.
It's got to be somewhere around in there.
Challenger disaster. Was it 86? Hold on a second. It's not telling me the date right here off the bat, so let's see here. 86, so it was 86. Okay. So this is just 1 year later. So yeah, they investigation.
Yeah.
Now, why did it get to the point where a judge orders, the tape from NASA? What are they hiding? You know, when it gets down to the point where, you know, now you have to have a court of law, like, you know, like mandating you, why are you withholding so much? What's going on?
Yeah.
The spaceship blew up. You know, what are you hiding? Was that, like, you know, that just adds credence to the whole conspiracy theory, because you heard about the one about the crew, that they're all still alive.
I haven't heard that, no.
That they're all in hiding or something for whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
That's one of the theories.
Sorry, I can't buy into that.
Well, truth is stranger than fiction. I'm not buying into it by any means. I'm just saying, like, you know, be aware of potentials.
The thing that always comes back to me in that disaster is the teacher that was sent up with that, and her whole class watching.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah.
1988 as well. Rick Sutcliffe swiped home. First pitcher since Pascal Perez in 1984 to steal home. So 4 years.
Huh.
A pitcher.
Yeah.
You know, they're not really renowned for their batting capabilities. They're pitchers, you know.
Well, that'd be running capabilities. They stole home.
Well,
from third, I assume.
I guess so, yeah. But you have to hit a ball, you know, or at least, you know, get out to the bases to get to that point.
Sure, or walked or whatever.
You can't steal it from home.
No, you can't.
No. 88 as well. Rick Sutcliffe. Oh, got that one. South African government banned anti-apartheid film Cry Freedom. Of course, it's anti-apartheid, and they were, you know, apartheid back then. That was in their last droves. But what else do we got here? Some more baseball for King.
1989, Philadelphia Phillies retire number 32 in honor of pitcher Steve Carleton. Carleton?
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve Carleton.
Carleton. Here we go.
1989, Vince Coleman record streak stopped at 50 straight stolen bases.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice, even number to
I
stop.
finally caught him.
Yeah.
Ooh, some more baseball.
In 1990, Boston Red Sox set major league record with 12 doubles in a game.
That's impressive.
That's more than one an inning.
Wow. Nice.
1991, first Sunday game in Shea Stadium. Mets beat Cubs 6-0. And also 1990, South African Communist Party begins first legal conference.
So I'm assuming that communism was illegal before that?
You had to be.
Oh, South Africa made a major mistake. So, moving on up, we have another. Let's see, we got that one. Ooh, wait, hold a second. This one's hilarious.
1991, Yankee Stadium, fans throw cups at blow-up doll at Jose Canseco.
Cups and blow-up dolls. So cups, like, you know, okay, why are you throwing cups? Are they coffee cups? Are they ceramic?
Yeah,
Like,
I guess it'd be. Maybe it was a cup giveaway, you know.
But then blow-up dolls, what the hell?
Maybe
What
it's
the
a
fuck's
Yankee
the
cup that they give
blow-up
away.
dolls?
Sometimes they have giveaways when you come.
Yeah. Okay, well that makes sense. But then, are they giving away blow-up dolls? Where'd all the blow-up dolls come from? And how do you throw a blow-up doll? You know, like.
That makes no sense.
You know what? Let me see if there's a video out there of this. Hold on a second. We got this. Sicko. Come on. Heckled by Yankee fans. Okay, here we go. So what is this?
The shot down the third base line, it's fair, but the ball boy grabs it. A ground rule double, and Stump Merrill couldn't believe it.
He screwed up.
This guy. He argued the point, and he's gone.
Oh, the ump. Is that the ump tossing him out of the game?
And there's one out now.
Manager just got kicked.
Don Mattingly. And Donnie baseball, the throw to
Oh, fumble.
Howell throws
Oh, jeez.
2 runs
Oh, wow.
on 2 errors. And the A's went up 10.
But when are we going to see them throwing the blow-up dolls?
Campbell gets the win.
Oh, I just saw something. It's a sex doll. They're throwing sex dolls into a. Who goes to a baseball game with a sex doll, and how come it's plural? What's going on? Like, obviously this is a pre-planned event. Was this a group?
Well,
You know-
obviously they brought it in their jacket or something and blew it up when they got there, when they wanted to throw it on the field.
Yeah, but
So
like
it's all
right here,
planned, yeah.
right here it says sex blow up dolls. S
Yeah.
plural.
Yeah, no.
Like, why is this happening? Facebook didn't exist back then.
The deal makes the sentence makes no mistake. Where the cups come from?
Yeah. I'm not seeing any cups. But
It comes
In
later.
the back, there's a bunch of people.
no, we're not seeing anything. But we saw a blow up doll at least. So there's
Yeah.
that. Anyway, moving on up, we also have 1993 Israeli Court of Appeal overturned 5-0. Conviction of John Demajujuk, saying not enough evidence he is concentration camp Ivan the Terrible. Alright, so at a very rare chain of events, they decided not to kill somebody. 1994, 200,000 Muslims demanded the death of feminist writer Taslima Nasrin in Bangladesh. Yikes. Yeah. You want to talk about violence and all that stuff. Like, 200,000 people demanding the death of somebody, just because they're a writer.
Yeah.
You want to talk about an evil group. Yikes. 94 as well. U.S. Minister and anti-abortionist Paul Jennings Hill murdered Dr. John Britton and his bodyguard, Britton's bodyguard that is. Retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel James Barrett outside of an abortion clinic in Pensacola, Florida. What? So this guy, so a minister, a religious person, right? Minister is a religious person.
Yes.
Murdered an anti-abortionist guy, a doctor, as well as a bodyguard who was a retired Air Force lieutenant colonel. So a freaking minister kills a doctor and a veteran in public in front of a freaking. What the hell is happening?
I don't know.
Like your face is my emotion right now. Just like, what is this?
I'm trying to, and it's an anti-abortionist.
Well, the anti-abortionist got killed. If the minister,
But you're against abortion, so what's a minister killing someone against abortion?
because, that's what, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's what it's really
What the
confusing a lot
hell?
of me.
Well, I don't know, man. That's a weird. That was a weird article right there. We also have former Italian Prime Minister Bettino Craxi got 8.5 year jail sentence on corruption charges. He then fled to Tunisia, never returned to Italy. What a coward. Anyway, what else do we got here? Oh, this one's a big one.
1994, Jesse Timdekas rapes and murders Megan Kanta. Results in Megan's Law.
So she was 7. Megan Kantka, who
Megan's
was
Law,
7
yeah.
years old. Megan's Law.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see here. I don't know why Megan's Law one isn't highlighted. That's a big one.
Yeah.
But then again, this is left. This is a leftist source. They don't want to protect children. They just want to harvest the adrenochrome. So, what do we got here in 95?
1995, Carolina Panthers beat Jacksonville Jaguars in their first NFL expedition game 2014.
It's 22-14.
So when they were an expansion team.
Yeah, so their first NFL exhibition game.
Yeah.
So that's a great way to start your career. A victory. Oh.
1995, Monica Seles beats Martina Navratilova in her return to tennis after she was stabbed in an on-court attack in 1993. Oh, sure.
Yeah,
So they started a lot more security. Someone just came out of the stands and walked up to her and stabbed her in the back.
Wow.
Wow.
That's. I mean, between that and like the ice skating thing, where what's her face's bodyguard and her husband went to the body, it was a convoluted mess of a situation. But competition is stiff, and they tried to they weren't trying to kill her, but they tried to take her out of the game.
He may have been trying to kill her.
Probably.
I don't know.
Like what did she hit her in the knee with a sledgehammer or something?
that was not trying to kill her, just taking her out of competition.
Yeah.
She got stabbed.
Yeah. Well, this is a different incident. This was
completely different.
If this was maybe a fan or whatever, maybe it was a hire, I'm not sure, but between this and that ice skating thing, it's just jeez, man,
That's Martina Navratilova.
Navratilova.
There you go. You said it better than me. Navratilova.
Yeah. Anyway, Here we go.
Oh, here he is.
1996 MLB Los Angeles Dodgers manager Tommy Lasorda
Yeah, you
retires and record of 1,599 to 1,439, 4 National League pennants and 2 World Series championships. Jeez.
That's a good repertoire right there.
He was an
Accomplished.
incredible, energetic guy. He always claimed when he got cut, he bled Dodger blue.
Huh. Well, if that was the case, then I think he needs to breathe more. So, he shouldn't be, I mean, like, I've heard of blue bloods, but that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, 1996, the controversial child protection portion of the Communications Decency Act of 1996 was struck down as too broad by a U.S. federal court. Okay, well, let's see if I can do a surface level scratch of that article right there. Let's see. Communications Decency Act. First, it was the Congress's first notable attempt to regulate pornographic material on the internet. In the 97 landmark case Reno versus ACLU, the United States Supreme Court unanimously struck the Act's anti-indecency provisions. Okay, and this was specifically involving child stuff, and this is against porn. So this is protection.
Struck it down.
Yeah, they struck it down because they wanted Biden in office.
What? Biden was around at the time.
Yeah,
He was a senator.
Let's not forget his involvement with Jim Crow laws.
Oh yeah, when he came into Congress.
Yeah. So 2001. Yeah, why don't you start off the new millennium here?
2001, The Prince Diaries, starring Anne Hathaway and her film debut, featuring Julia Andrews and directed by Gary Marshall, premieres at E Caption Theater in Hollywood.
El Capitan Theater. Yeah. Princess Diaries, I've heard of it. It was a big thing. I remember back in
I don't remember it.
I remember
Great
it was
movie.
blowing up all over everywhere. Oh, the Princess Diaries.
Of course,
The Princess
Julie
Diaries.
Andrews. She did The Sound of Music and all kinds of stuff. Don't remember that one though.
Yeah. And here we go. This is the inevitable downfall of Pluto. So,
Sad day.
2005, astronomers announced the discovery of a dwarf planet, Eris.
yep. And because of Eris, that's why Pluto got downgraded from planet to dwarf planet, because I think Eris is actually bigger than Pluto.
Oh,
So,
I didn't know that.
and there's asteroids in the asteroid belts bigger than Pluto. They're considered dwarf planets. So Pluto is still a planet. Damn it. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
So,
Pluto's got to be in our repertoire of planets. I'm sorry.
yeah. What
It's the
comedian?
underdog planet.
What comedian were we watching yesterday where the guy got into an argument with his wife about Pluto, and ended up Pluto becoming the center of the universe because his wife, demanded that Pluto was a planet. It was all about him hanging a mobile of the solar system.
Without Pluto or something?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, because he
So
goes
Pluto
in.
became the center of his universe.
Yeah, see, because it starts off because as he's saying, well, first off, he does this whole it's a great thing. He does this whole bit about how he's what's the difference between a geek, a nerd, a dork, a dweeb. He does the whole Venn diagram and all that stuff. He's a nerd and all that whatnot, and he was making as I said a mobile for his infant child. Starting off with the sun, and planets and everything,
around
but
it,
he
yeah.
wasn't going to include Pluto. And his wife came in, and not only did he include Pluto, but Pluto replaced the sun as the center of the universe. because not only does the wife win, the wife always wins, incomprehensibly, victory.
Yeah.
Well, Pluto's not just a planet, it's the center of the universe. Okay,
Yeah.
happy wife, happy life. And this is why I'm not married. So, I don't play that game. What else do we got? Oh, this one here.
2009, temperature reaches 103 degrees in Seattle, Washington, the hottest day on record. Oh,
That's
hot
toasty.
for them.
Yeah, that's hot for anybody. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
but not record hot
well,
for most.
well,
Like it wouldn't be a record down here.
no, it wouldn't. So, 2012? King?
Oh, sorry. 2012 tropical storms in Quannan kills 88 people and leaves 60,000 people homeless in North Korea. Yikes.
Yikes. North Korea would be the last country prepared for anything. Oh. 2013, 300 prisoners are freed after a Taliban attack in Dera Ismail Khan, Pakistan. I wonder if those were Taliban prisoners, you know, or people who were Taliban who got prisoned and the Taliban came in and rescued their comrades or something.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because they were freed after the Taliban attack.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
huh.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. 2013 as well, U.S. Coast Guard opened a new headquarters in Washington, D.C., officially designated as the Douglas A. Munro Coast Guard Headquarters Building in honor of USCG's only World War II Medal of Honor recipient. Wow.
Well, they were going woke. You get there and you're going to go woke.
What are you talking about?
Put the Coast Guard in Washington,
Oh.
D.C., the headquarters?
Oh, well, yeah, well, of course. But that's interesting. The U.S. Coast Guard only had one medal on, or one Medal of Honor recipient in World War II, which was Douglas A. Munro. All right.
Apparently the Coast Guard must not have been in Hawaii, in Pearl Harbor. It must not have been there.
They must have. I mean,
well, it also wasn't a state at the time either.
Well, it was a naval base. The base, at least, was U.S. property.
Yeah.
And the islands were not a state, but they were property of the U.S.
Yeah, but the Coast
Puerto
Guard
Rico
would be.
is.
They already have the Navy base there. What do they need the Coast Guard there to protect them?
To protect the Navy. The
Navy's going to protect itself.
Even a police headquarters has its own security. I don't know. That's a good question. Was the Navy self-protection, or did they have domestic defense? Outside of themselves. You get what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah, just like they wouldn't have been up in Alaska either.
I don't know. I think they would have. That's a good question. Anybody who knows or would like to research that, was the Coast Guard
stationed in Alaska or Hawaii in the 40s?
Well, by that mentality, then the Coast Guard should not be in Puerto Rico. But are they?
I don't know.
Huh. I don't know. But we're already an hour and a half in, so we got to keep going here. 2013, 103 million euros of diamonds was stolen from the Carlton International Hotel or Intercontinental Hotel in Cannes, France. I remember the Great Diamond Heist. I see videos about that. 103 million euros in diamonds.
The value, yeah.
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 2014, 100 Gazans killed overnight by Israeli strikes. How typical. What else do we got here in 2014? Here we go.
2014, Chicago Cubs player John Baker scores the win against the Colorado Rockies at Wrigley Field in the longest game in Cubs history.
Jeez.
Huh. I wonder how long that game was.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
Yeah. Once again, if anybody watching this wants to let us know in the comment section, please, interact. France.
France contributes 8 million euros to aid in Gaza.
I wonder.
Wonder how that's going.
I wonder how pissed off Israel got about that. Oh, how dare you? Help the goyim. We gotta kill them all. Oh. 2015.
2015, 27 people are killed and 149 are injured after their truck runs into a religious procession in Zacatecas, Mexico.
Yeah, that sucks. Like, they're there for a religious thing, and a truck just comes in and runs all.
Yeah.
How do you run over 27 people? How do you injure 149? I don't know. This is that intentional? Was this a terrorist attack?
I don't know.
It's 2015. Was the cartel involved? It's Mexico, you know.
Big question mark. I have no idea.
Yeah. 2015 as well. Microsoft launched Windows 10, and nobody wanted it. So.
Nope.
2015 as well. Muhammad Omar, mullah and Taliban leader, was confirmed dead, killed in 2013 by Afghan government. Took you 2 years to confirm that? Like, well, you had to make sure that his corpse started decomposing before you can figure out whether or not he was playing dead or something? Like, you know, what's going on?
Confirmed the person more than the death.
Yeah. We also have part of missing aircraft MH370 was found on the island of Reunion. So, you know, Malaysian air flight, you know, MH370 just vanished. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they discovered a part of it, you know, on this island.
No, I never heard about that.
No, neither did I. Of course, you know, we're never given closure in news. We're just told about the bad shit, and then they just move on. And we're never really wrapped up with anything. Which is, you know, they should. You know, you open the book, now close it.
Yeah.
You know? Come on.
I thought it was still an open space. I didn't know they found a portion.
No.
Portion.
Apparently they did. And I think I remember hearing about it a while ago. But, like, you know, old news is old news. You know, move on. Oh, like, you know. So. We also have over 3,500 immigrants over 2 days attempted to enter the Channel Tunnel at Calais to cross into Britain. Wow.
Oh, jeez.
Like, can you imagine 3,500 people trying to go into the tunnel? Like,
Yeah, and walk through?
yeah. What else do we got here? 2015 King?
2015, Zion Harvey becomes the first patriotic. What's that word?
Patriotic?
Patriotic patient to receive a double hand transplant in the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. A double hand transplant?
I remember we saw a video
You can
about
transplant
this.
hands?
Apparently. Yeah, they transplanted his hands, and eventually, well, it was really crazy. Well, it makes sense, I guess. But, you know, because, like, you know, your skin tone and, you know, is going to be different. But eventually, the skin tone started matching. You know, because it started, like, you know, it read it from the body. And
Well, the amazing part is hooking up tendons and all that stuff to make it function.
Yeah, that's what I would think. That's a lot of different
Oh, man, that's unbelievable.
strings to attach, you know?
yeah.
Let's
can
have a
see
show
right
of
here.
hands.
Huh.
Haha!
Yeah, but you can see the scar here.
Yeah.
Like, and all that stuff. and
Holy
it's swelling
cow.
and...
Oh, wow.
That's
Yeah.
major. That's just... God.
Yeah. And oh, look at that. He's playing baseball, dude. Nice.
Awesome.
Gets to play. You know? That is awesome. You can see the...
Good for
you can
him.
see the different skin tones. You can see it. But eventually it started... you know, the skin tones started matching and all that stuff eventually
Yeah.
later on down the line. But yeah, this
That's
was
just a
this
feel-good
was him
story.
before.
Man,
Like,
that's a great one.
but I mean, like, not even with hands, he's playing foosball.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Happy kid.
yeah, lucky kid. So, but yeah, like, yeah, you said show of hands, and the first thing that popped into my mind was, "Give me 3." Like, as George Carlin said, you ever go to shake a guy's hand and you realize he doesn't have a complete hand? Yikes. And, oh, here we go.
Boo, 1916, Hillary Clinton accepts the Democratic nomination stolen by Bernie Sanders, and the U.S. Democratic Convention in Philadelphia, first woman by a major U.S. party. Again, stolen from Bernie Sanders. They should have put Bernie Sanders in. He would have lost anyway, but the Bernie bro train was going pretty strong that year, and if Bernie wanted a chance, that was it. He's never getting in it again.
So I guess you can say that he felt the burn.
Yeah.
So
Well, I was surprised. I thought she'd make a run at it this year with all the Biden stuff going on.
no, she's too known politically.
She knows everybody hates her.
Yeah.
She would have made a move if there was a crack somewhere, but she probably didn't see it or whatever.
Now I was going along with you that, you know, Michelle Obama was going to be the person.
I really thought
So-
she was going to come in at the last minute and save the Democratic Party, so to speak. And then she's got, 90 days or so that she's got to endure with Trump, and hopefully sneak in and be the president.
Yeah, but of course, you know, when it comes
Could
to
still happen.
when it comes to Michelle Obama and
Barack?
no, not Barack. When it comes to Michelle Obama and Kathleen Campbell-Harris,
No.
Kamala Harris, and all that stuff, of course they're going to choose the real woman because they want legitimate representation. I'm saying that
I
Michelle Obama's a
understand.
guy.
I got you.
So, anyway, that reminds me of that, you know, video that King and I were watching the other day, where like all the people impersonating, you know, there's a person impersonating Trump, a person impersonating Biden, and the person impersonating Trump said some comment about Michelle Obama having a big, you know, male appendage, and then the guy pretending to be Biden was like, hey, so what? It was hilarious. I loved it. I lost my shit right there.
Oh yeah, that live thing was
Yeah.
fucking amazing.
Yeah, it was. Some of the, like, a lot of the randos they had come on were just trash, though. Like, they
Yeah.
gotta vet some of these people. Like, you know,
Well, that's the point of the show.
yeah, well, yeah. That one, you know, they came
Anybody's
on,
one-
oh, my
one-
vagina. I'm a woman, laugh at me. My vagina. Aren't I funny? Ha 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 ha. Get off the stage, you know?
Oh, she was horrible.
Yeah. With a capital W. Anyway, what do we got here in 2018?
2018, a 6.4 magnitude earthquake strikes the island of Lombok, Indonesia, killing at least 14.
Yikes.
14's, I mean,
Well, that wasn't in there for the death toll. That was in there because 6.4 is pretty strong.
It's huge.
You know, as someone who lives in earthquake country, like, I know what this number means.
oh wait,
It's
at
not
least
good.
14.
Yeah, at least 14. But yeah. Anyway,
And in 2018, Chipper Jones, Alan Trammell, Trevor Hoffman, Vladimir Guerrero, Jim Thorne, and Jack Morris are included into the Baseball Hall of Fame, Cooperstown, New York.
nice.
Congrats.
Yeah.
All right.
We also have demonstrations calling for safer road by students began in Dhaka, Bangladesh. You know you're failing when students have to come and be like, hey, fix this pothole, you know? And, you know the government's failing when, you know, our government's failing, you know, when Domino's has an entire advertising campaign involving, hey, you buy our pizza, some of the proceeds are going to go into fixing potholes.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah, but Bangladesh would be, hey, you know, tar these roads, you know, they may be all dirt.
now you want to know something really funny, is that in some areas, and I'm talking about like the areas where like there's been potholes there for years, you know,
Yeah.
and the municipal government just won't do stuff. You know what some people have been doing? They've been graffitiing.
Make it look like it's.
Well, no. They've been graffitiing phallic symbols in the
Oh.
potholes. And now the government's like, oh, well, you know, now there's the drawing of a penis in a pothole. Guess what they do? They
fill it.
actually fix the
Yeah.
pothole.
Sounds about right.
So you know, having a pothole that endangers lives, you know, is fine. But if there's a drawing of a penis in it, now you take action. Oh, heavens to Murgatroyd. The inadequacy of our government. You know, we need to start. We the
Male
people.
toxicity.
No, we the people need to start, marching on our representatives and start saying, hey, look, this is what you're gonna do, and you're gonna fucking do it. All right, enough of this,
They're
crap.
only getting rid of it because it was a penis. If it was a vagina, they'd let it go. They'd probably celebrate it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
People
it holds
would
a
try
hole.
to fall in. I'm gonna run my car right through that.
It's my first time. 2018 as well, Ethiopian state funeral for murdered dam engineer Simingwiu Bekele in Addis Ababa prompted unrest. So the community didn't like him or something. Maybe because they weren't for him damming up some river that was probably very, needed for agriculture or
I have
something.
no idea.
No clue. We also have Hun Sen's Cambodian People's Party. Hun Sen claims to have won all 125 seats in country's general election with widespread criticism of a sham vote. Well, yeah, you can never win 100%. You know?
No.
So. We also had Palestinian teenage activist Ahid Tamimi was released from prison after 8 months. Okay. Moving on up, what do we got here in 2019? Where you are? There you are. Okay.
2019, prison riot kills 58, 16 decapitated, and battle between rival factions at the Almeida prison in Para State, Brazil.
Yikes. 16 decapitated. You know? Like,
Nobody.
the 58 deaths in a prison riot, okay, that's pretty high.
Yeah.
That would not have made it onto the show. The 16 decapitated is why it did. What the hell?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
That's got my reaction when you read it.
yeah. Oh.
2019 record for longest run at the top U.S. singles chart, made by country rap single "Old Town Road" by Lil Nas, remixed with Billy Ray Cyrus. #1 for 17 weeks.
That is a good stat right there. 17 weeks at #1?
Yeah.
Man, you're making the money. So. Now, this next one I find absolutely reprehensible. 2020 scaled back Hajj pilgrimage begins in Saudi Arabia with no foreigners. So what? Only Saudi Arabians are allowed to do that?
The Hajj you're supposed to do in your lifetime.
Yeah, but this
As
is
a good Muslim, you're supposed to make the
pilgrimage.
Thank you.
Yeah,
At least once in your life.
But apparently, Saudi Arabia says, well, if you're not a Saudi Arabian, you can't be a true Muslim.
Yeah.
Well, screw you, Saudi Arabia. Open it up. I mean, this is
A lot of
obviously.
people die in that every year because there's so many people
Yeah.
that get crushed and
Well,
everything else.
obviously, this has something to do with the pandemic because of the year 2020. You know,
that's true, too.
But see, that's the thing. How can you sit there and say, oh, you know, like we're limiting it because of the pandemic only to people of our ethnicity, of our nationality? No, you can't do that. You know, because that's favoritism.
I know, but if
How
it's
can
just
you
for 1 year, because you don't want to travel around the world.
I don't
so
care.
Now it's
I don't
making
care.
a little bit of sense.
I don't care.
It's making a little bit
I
of
don't
sense
care.
to me. Fine.
I don't. It's a religious thing.
I don't care. You don't care.
You know, no, it's a religious thing. People have the right, come hell or high water, disease or not. If somebody wants to do the Hajj, let them do the Hajj. For Saudi Arabia to do this, then again, it's Saudi Arabia. They're an evil
But in the
regime.
time, did they know? Okay, if we bring foreigners in, they bring this disease with them. Is it going to annihilate our country
As if
and our population?
As if they can't get the disease themselves. No,
Well,
the premise
they're
for it
not
is completely
asking-
invalid. They're just
it's
trying
not.
to. They're just trying to make it only for themselves. Greedy.
I
evil.
don't think that's the reason behind there. I disagree with you.
If it had anything to do truly with COVID, then they would have done something domestically as well.
And they may have.
I don't think so.
You don't know. They may have.
Well, maybe, but I just find this absolutely reprehensible, absolutely disgusting.
Probably a better answer would have been to shut it down for the year completely.
Yeah, completely. You know that. You know, then I'd be all for it. But as soon as you say, "Oh, no, rules for thee, not for me," no, up
But
yours.
You're
up
stopping
yours, Saudi
travel.
Arabia.
You're stopping travel is what
I
you're
don't
doing.
care.
Okay,
I don't
move
care.
on. Move on.
Anyway, what do we got here in 2021? Oh, religious freedom. Come on.
2021, Australia canoeist, is it?
Yeah.
Right? Canoeist?
Yep.
Jessica Fox with 109.96 wins. Inaugural women's C1 slalom gold medal at Tokyo Olympics Games. All right.
Slalom. Like, isn't that like a walk or a slalom or something? Like, oh, canoeist. Like a slalom.
Yeah.
Canoeist. Okay. So
Slalom, I think is what. No, it's
Slalom?
not. No, it's
Slalom?
not. There's no L there.
there is SLALOM. Slalom. It's right there.
Slalom is a course, like in skiing. There's a.
Well, maybe that's for canoeing too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would be a course.
Okay.
But see, in 2021, they had the Olympics that year a year late because
Yeah.
of COVID.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see here. Following this one, here we go. King.
Yeah, hold on. Sorry.
It's alright.
2021, following Simone Bliss withdrawal, teammate Cincinnati Lee becomes the first Hmong
Hmong?
American Olympic champion in any sport when she wins women's ethnic individual all around gymnastics gold in Tokyo.
Oh, but she's what is Salam? What is
She looks.
Hmong
I
American?
thought she was the. I thought she was the girl that dropped out.
No, we spoke about that yesterday.
She's back in
Yeah.
this year. She's back in.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Hmong.
She's. I'm pretty sure she's the one that dropped out.
You know what? Let's see here.
Maybe.
Let's see here. Blah blah blah. Blah, 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 most decorated gymnast in history. Blah 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 blah. blah 2021. Okay. Following Simon Biles' withdrawal. Okay. U.S. gymnasts, including Simon Biles, testified against former Dr. Larry Nassar at the Senate. Something involving Docker. I'm not seeing anything involving her dropping out.
Raped a bunch of the athletics at
Ah.
USC.
So that's probably why because we spoke about this. Oh no, on Saturday during the history show about the one lady who dropped out because of mental. She had to go through.
Yeah.
Maybe she had the same doctor.
It could have. I don't know.
Like, 'cause that would cause mental problems. So, but what is a Hmong American? Many Hmong Americans immigrated to the United States as refugees in the late 70s. Over half of the Hmong population from Laos left the country or attempted to leave in 1975 at the culmination of the Laotian Civil War. So she's Laotian.
Yeah.
I don't know why we don't call them Laotian Americans. What
It's
the
more
hell?
specific, I guess.
Hmong.
Hmong.
I guess Hmong is
A different region.
or specifically the label for these particular people from that area.
Yeah.
You know, according to the 2021 U.S. Community Survey by the Census Bureau, the population count for Hmong Americans was 368,609 as of 2019. The largest community in the U.S. was in the Minneapolis-St. Paul metropolitan area. Hmong Americans face disparities in healthcare and yada yada. Oh, boo-hoo, my victimhood, yada yada, cry cry. Okay. Anyway, why don't we have you take the last three here? Where is it? Here we go.
All right, here, 46,000-year-old
Minuscule.
Can you unhighlight that? Minuscule. Can you there you go. Minuscule pair of roundworms relive their cryobiotic state after being frozen in Siberian permafrost. Proves life can be stopped then restarted, according to scientists.
Okay.
They're frozen.
Well,
Yeah. That's just what we need at this time of of the world. Like ancient microorganisms that God knows what diseases. Like
In theory, could be regenerated.
we don't need that in the 2020s. We have enough. We don't need to start reviving ancient parasites. Okay? We're good.
yeah, we can make our own.
Yeah.
Apparently.
We already have some in the White House right now.
Yeah. Yeah, 2023, 1978 Toyota Land Cruiser named the Bud Crab drives 7 kilometers underwater at 30 feet depth to cross Darwin's Harbor, likely breaking world records. Yeah, what's that look like?
It is an automobile that was designed. Hold on a second.
Go underwater. Huh?
Well, we know what a mud crab looks like. Well, it's a mud crab car.
Hold on a second.
Oh, wait a minute. What's that first one?
No, it's
I
not.
know it's not the thing we're looking for, but that looks pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, that looks like it's well, no, the whole thing is.
It's like a crab.
Oh, it's a whole
Crab robot.
Okay.
It's a crabot.
But you know what?
Crab up. There you go.
Crabot.
Yeah, it's a Sonic. It's a Sonic thing. You know,
Yeah.
Sonic character brought
Sonic
to
the
life.
Hedgehog,
We
yeah.
have robotic animals and all that.
Oh, this one. Okay, so it wasn't it was the engine was sealed off, but he drove it in a suit. So they're driving.
Well, what the hell is the
around.
point of that?
Yeah, it's a.
Hey, you gotta let the scuba suit take it away. All right. I mean, it's one of those things. Like, why did you make that? Well, because I can.
Why not?
Because I can, sir. Thank you very much.
What's the quote from Jurassic Park? Your scientists were so focused on if it could be done they didn't focus on should it be done.
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that. Yeah.
And last but not least,
2023 infamous lunch in Leoganatha, Australia, that results in 3 deaths. Those suspected mushroom poisoning. Cook Aaron Patterson later arrested for murder.
A last meal.
well, if this is the same one that I'm thinking, is let me look this person up here.
Poisonous mushroom. Oh.
Aaron Patterson. This is the same exact one. Yes. This I think she was found guilty. I'm not sure, but as far as I'm aware of, she intentionally was. She didn't want to kill them, but she was trying to poison her in-laws. She didn't like her husband's family, so she had him over and intentionally put too much poison or something, or because she had bought she had bought mushrooms and everything, and these two are people. I think these two are dead. I know one of them is dead at least. I think both people are dead. These were the in-laws, but this is just like another common female action, like oh, I don't like my husband's parents, so I'm gonna remove them from the picture for a while. She didn't want to kill them, but she did.
How about folks? Just don't come over anymore. I don't like you.
Yeah.
That would have worked.
Why anyone would marry this is beyond me. But hey, love is blind. So, but she's a monster, an absolute monster.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description for any links you may be interested in, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. We're not just here on Rumble or BitChute. I tried to say Yumble, like Rumble and
Like
YouTube.
yummy. Yummy.
I'm trying to say Rumble and YouTube at the same
okay.
time. So
Yumble.
Yumble.
Catch them all on Yumble.
We're also on BitChute and Odyssey and all that stuff. Once again, check the underbar for our link tree and all that stuff. For your dose of past events daily, we stream almost every day. Try to make it every day at 11 in the morning Pacific time, which is 12 noon Mountain, 1 Central, and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. We do have other shows. We have the Omni Coalition News Show, Weird on Unusual, Notable Events, Weather, and Sports, every Saturn's Day, not on Freya's Day, when we move that to Saturday, 3 p.m. Pacific Time. The Omni Coalition Show, which we had a banger of a show yesterday, great one. We moved that from Monday to Sunday, so we just kind of scrunched a little bit. And we have other shows in the works and all that stuff, where one reason or another we're waiting or whatever. So yeah, if you want to catch us live, if you're on the West Coast, it's 11 and 3 all for thee, Mountain 12 and 4, watch us for more, Central 1 and 5 for the Contrive, and East 2 and 6 for your fix. For all of you and all of us, I'm Xander.
King's Refuge.
Golden Loon.
And you are you. Until you catch us next time, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe.